The year I wore spray-on jeans. Let's talk about it. Welcome to a new type of video where I share with you some of the stories, some of the mistakes that I made so that hopefully you don't have to make them yourselves. A bit more personal, a bit more realistic. Hopefully you'll find this interesting. Anyway, let's talk spray-on jeans. Because believe it or not, I wore spray-on jeans for a period of probably about 12 months. This is when I was about 19 or 20 years old. This is a style item that is ripped apart online. It's very extreme, very divisive. But surprisingly, I see lots of people wearing this stuff, especially in the UK. Always in that younger generation between the age of about 14 to about 26. But how did it get to the point where I started wearing these, and what are my thoughts on it now? When I was younger, I was always one of those guys whose parents just bought their clothes for them. Not one of these spoiled kids where, you know, their parents would go out and buy them loads of fancy branded stuff all the time. More so just occasionally once in a while, especially if I'd outgrown the clothing, I guess that was the main thing. And with all my jeans and trousers, it was often a similar sort of thing. Function over form. I remember having a pair of trousers in particular that were ones that you could zip off just below the knee. So you could turn them from a pair of trousers into a pair of really weird cargo shorts, which I guess it's pretty cool, has quite a good function, I suppose. But the reality is I wasn't ever hiking up Everest. I didn't need the 20,000 pockets that were on those things. But you know, my parents, they weren't really concerned about style. And when you're a kid, it doesn't matter so much. But then when you become more aware of relationships, attraction, you become a lot more image conscious. And I certainly did that as well. I remember only having, you know, maybe 2 pairs of jeans in my wardrobe. And what I can confirm is that they weren't stylish. They were pretty straight, loose fitting stuff, boot cut jeans, that sort of thing. And the reality was I was a really skinny kid, like super thin. When we tested our BMIs in school, I remember mine was in the underweight category. You could see all my ribs, you could see all my joints really badly, and that was the same with my legs. They were like 2 little cocktail sticks. And this meant that these baggy jeans, they looked even baggier. They made me just look like a bag of bones. I first remember becoming conscious of my trouser choices when I started meeting up with people outside of college, I think it was probably. It was somewhere at year 11, year 12, so that's the age of about between 16 and 17, probably in about 2010, so about 8 years ago now. And I just noticed that what these people were wearing wasn't what I was wearing. I went to one of these colleges where there was people there from privileged families, pretty much the opposite of mine. There were very different types of people that were wearing all this heavily branded stuff. And one key thing that I noticed is that their jeans in particular were a lot slimmer and tighter than mine. And often it was some of these guys that were getting much more attention from females. Back then, I was a complete disaster with women. Didn't have a clue what to do or say around them. Definitely didn't know what to wear to look good. And as a result, my success with women was just atrocious, or at least my success with the women that I wanted to attract. Who's gonna want to go with a guy who looks terrible and doesn't know what to say? So I figured, you know what? I need to start replicating what these other people are doing, because they must be doing something right. And one of the first things that I changed was the trousers, because it was such a big difference between what I was wearing and what they were wearing. I remember I always used to wear trousers where I could even erode the bottom of the back away from them. Like my shoes were standing on the heel of the trousers. And I thought, you know what, I need to change something. And then I finally went out to Peacocks in the UK. And then I bought some slightly tighter fitting jeans. I think they were like a slimmer fit at the time. I'm pretty sure my mum was very hesitant at the time about me getting them, like saying about how tight they were, which on reflection is crazy because that's all that people really wear now, people who are, you know, conscious of their image. But I remember her thinking, you know, questioning me, are these too tight, are you sure they're okay? And I felt a lot better, I think, about it. And that was the first step really, and I think I had that one pair of slim jeans that I kept for probably about 3 years and wore them for everything. Again, you know, you can't realistically get by on one pair of jeans. It just doesn't work. Ugh. But how did I get from those slim fit jeans, which in all truth, they were quite baggy on me still, because I was that thin at the time. How did I go from them to then a couple of years later in about 2013 wearing spray-on jeans? One of the things I noticed at college was some of the guys were just obsessed with going to the gym. They would go pretty much every day after school, make of it what you want, and it was just something strange, something not familiar to me. And the legs of these guys, you know, compared to me, it made me feel worse about them. My legs were so thin in comparison to what I was looking at other people. I kind of became a lot more aware of it. And gradually I started building up this idea that I needed to do something about it. And that's where in probably about 2012, I discovered skinny jeans. Not the spray-on jeans, they are different. Not the spray-on jeans, the skinny jeans. And I started to wear these because I thought, well, I've got really, really thin legs, and these baggier jeans are definitely making them look even thinner because I can't fill them out the same as these guys with more muscular legs. What can I do? I need to sort of embrace them, work with it somehow. And I thought, you know what? Let's try these skinny jeans. These skinny jeans that look terrible on guys who are overweight, but I'm the opposite. I'm probably too thin, so maybe they'll look good on me, maybe they're built for me. And initially, I definitely felt better going into them compared to the slim fit. The way that they sat on my leg, there was not such an excess of fabric around my bum. Maybe it gave me some sort of rebellious look, I don't know. But all I knew is, on my body at that time, it looked better. And then I moved on to university, and then while I was at university, everyone was wearing skinny jeans. And you become more and more image conscious, especially when you're there when 100% of people that you're around all the time are your age range. Some of whom are naturally really good looking, obviously have, you know, the gift of the gab when it comes to women. You start feeling a bit of pressure on yourself. And I thought, I need to do something different. I don't know, maybe to stand out. I honestly can't recall my thought process, but I took it to the next level. And then I went from the skinny jeans to the spray-on jeans. These were essentially a much tighter version of skinny jeans, and skinny jeans are already pretty tight, but the spray-ons, or the super skinny as they're called in a variety of brands, take it to the next level. They follow all the contours of your leg, your knee and all that stuff, and it essentially looks like a second skin that's been sprayed on. And I thought I looked great, I thought I looked different. And this was at a time in my life when I was having a lot more success with women compared to about 2 or 3 years before. So I thought that these must be contributing towards this happening. I don't know what I was thinking. I was definitely getting more attention, I think often from the wrong people. These spray-on trousers actually had the opposite effect of the switch I initially made. So the one years ago where I switched from the baggy jeans to the slim jeans, or even the slim to the skinny, that was designed to make me look like I was, you know, filling the material a bit more, so that there was less excess material. Didn't make my legs look like a tiny tent pole in a tent, as I like to call it. It looked like I had a bit more meat there. But then this has gone to such an extreme with the spray-ons that it was having another effect. It was just making me look like I was wearing women's jeans, and it made my legs actually look like they were trying to burst out of the material, and it just gave off a very unusual aesthetic. I used to get trolled about this, which is one of the reasons I stopped wearing them, because I remember people would call me like flamingo legs and stuff, and jelly legs, because I think not just because I had really skinny legs, but I think because of the trousers as well. Those trousers are surprisingly comfortable actually. I remember because they had so much elastane in, even compared to skinnies, it felt quite comfortable, to be fair. People say that it crushes your groin. I never honestly felt that. I think because it's so stretchy, it doesn't put any pressure on them. But on reflection, proportionally, my lower half of my body wearing those compared to the top half, it just looked bad. The thing I find funny about the spray-on jeans is often the kind of like ripples, because it's being pulled so tight widthways. Your legs look like an ocean with waves coming in all the way up. And I started seeing people online wearing these and thinking they look crazy, and then I was thinking, I wear them, that's me, I need to put my head on that person's body. How would I judge myself externally? I was so conscious about female attention at this stage, I was willing to adapt to anything, try anything. As you'll see in some of the upcoming videos, if I decide to make any more in this sort of mini-series. So eventually I sort of went back up towards the skinny jeans stage, and I was kind of lucky from that point forth. My metabolism started slowing down probably about 2 years ago, and I put on a little bit of weight. It brought me back up to more like the middle of like healthy BMI instead of the super low end. And this has meant that I'm able to kind of wear a couple of different types of trousers, and I no longer have to look like a flamingo with the spray-on jeans. Let me know in the comments what you think of this story, what you think of spray-on jeans, if you ever dared to try them. And what do you think of them now? What's your personal favourite cut of jeans? I'm gonna have an updated version of my jeans guide coming up soon, which I put out a couple of years ago, so make sure you subscribe to the channel for that one. That one's gonna contain the facts and a bit of subjectivity at the end. If you want to hear in the next episode about the times when I used to dress like SpongeBob to try and get female attention, then please let me know in the comments below, and you know, if this goes down all right, maybe we'll talk about that in the next one. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, gents. I'm about to finish my drink, and I'll see you in the next one. And subscribe and like and all that stuff too. Nice one. 5 hacks to instantly wear spray-on jeans.